Okay, guys, part two of the polynomial long division video, graphic organizer here. At the end of the last video, I told you to try these two problems at the top here. This trinomial divided by this binomial and also this one over here. As you see, I got my work shown here and all my steps. And when I take 4x squared plus 16x plus 16 divided by 2x plus 4, look at the first term. I multiply by 2x, I distribute. I get 4x squared plus 8x. I remember that that is subtraction, so I change my signs. 4x squared plus negative 4x squared is 0. Plus negative 8 is going to give me positive 8. Okay, bring down the 16, and I get 8x plus 16. Okay, look at the first term here, 2x, and the first term here, 8x. What can I multiply the 2x by to get 8x? I multiply it by 4. 4 times 2x is 8x. 4 times 4 is 16. I remember this is subtraction, so I change my signs, distribute the negative. 8x plus negative 8x is 0, and 16 plus negative 16 is 0. And as you see here, I took the original divisor and the quotient, and I folded out. And I got 4x squared plus 16x plus 16, which is exactly what I started with. So it makes me happy. Cool. Good problem. Hopefully you got the same thing there. All right, the next problem. Negative 15x squared plus 43x plus, minus 8 divided by 3x minus 8. Look at the first terms, 3x and negative 15x squared. What do I multiply 3x by to get negative 15x squared? I multiply by negative 5x. Why negative? Because we have to have a negative times this positive to give us an output of a negative. Okay? Distribute. Negative 5x times 3x is negative 15x squared. Negative 5x times negative 8 is positive 40. Negative times a negative is a positive. I do my subtraction, distribute the negative. So this negative becomes a positive, and this positive becomes a negative. Negative 15x squared plus 15x squared is 0. 43x plus negative 40 is going to give me 3x. Bring down the minus 8 and do the process again. Look at the 3x. Look at the 3x. How can I make a 3x a 3x? Well, it's already that. So to keep it the same, I multiply it times 1. 1 times 3x is 3x. 1 times negative 8 is negative 8. Remember that this is subtraction, so I distribute the negatives. This becomes negative, this becomes positive. 3x plus negative 3x is 0. Negative 8 plus 8 is 0. Do my check here. Took the original divisor, 3x minus 8, and the quotient, negative 5x plus 1. Folded out, first, outer, inner, last. Okay, did my work here. Combine like terms. I get negative 15x squared plus 43x minus 8. Which is the same thing as what we started with in the original problem, which means I got the problem correct. Okay, so we've done a few problems here where we've had the answer come out to be even, okay, with no remainder of 0. Okay, remainder of 0. What happens? This isn't a perfect world. Sometimes we are going to have a remainder. Okay, for example, let's look at this one. This is my remainder example, kind of a simplified version, going through the same process. Rewrite it in long division format. We have 205, we're dividing by 7. Okay, so we're going to check. 7 will not go into 2, but 7 will go into 20. It will go into 20 2 times. Okay, 2 times 7 is going to give me 14. And I'm going to do my subtraction. Get a 6, bring down the 5. Okay, same process. 7 will not go into 6, but it will go into 65. Okay, it goes in there 9 times. 9 times 7 is 63, and we subtract and get a 2. Okay. Now we can keep going if we want a decimal answer, but what I want to show you is what we're actually doing is we have a remainder of 2. This is called the remainder. Okay. The remainder is actually a fraction. Okay. So we have a quotient of 29 and a remainder of 2. So the actual final answer is 29 and 2/7. Okay, now where did the 7 come from? The 7 is the divisor. Remember, the divisor is what you're dividing by. So we have 2 left over, 2 out of 7. Okay. for our polynomial purposes, I'm going to get clever here, and I'm going to show you that 29 and 2/7 is the same thing as 29 plus the fraction 2/7. Okay? Now remember that we stuck it together to make it a mixed number, but in actuality it's the whole number plus the fraction. Okay? So you're taking the quotient and adding the remainder to it. Okay? This is the quotient. And you're adding the remainder to it. Okay. So we took our simple example. We have a remainder and we just made it a fraction by putting it over the quotient, and we took the quotient and we took the remainder and put it over the divisor. Then in the final answer we took the quotient and added the remainder to it. Okay, so the last one, okay, I'm telling you, you're going to have a remainder here. So there's no doubt. It will not have a remainder of 0. We're going to have something at the end that we have to deal with. Okay, same process. 10x squared plus 4x plus 5 divided by x plus 5. Nothing changes. We still want to look at the first term and the first term. Whoa, my video went out there for a second. Sorry. All right, so x and 10x squared. And we ask ourselves, what do we multiply x by to get 10x squared? Okay, hopefully you're saying 10x in your head, which is right. So we distribute 10x times x gives me 10x squared. 10x times 5 gives me 50x. Okay, so now we're going to subtract. And subtraction is the distribution of the negative here, so I'm going to change the signs. Make both of those negative on the inside. 10x squared plus negative 10x squared gives me 0. 4 plus negative 50x is going to give me negative 46x. And then I'm just going to bring down the plus 5. Okay? Repeat the process. So the process is still the same so far. We're not dealing with any remainders yet until we get to the end. So we check the first term here, x, and the first term here, negative 46x. What do I multiply the x by to get negative 46x? Well, how about a negative 46? Negative 46 times x is a negative 46x. Negative 46 times 5. Well, that's a pretty big number, but 46 times 5 gives me 230, so it's actually going to be a negative 230 here. Okay. Remember that we are subtracting, and when you subtract a negative, you're actually adding a positive. And subtract a negative here, you're also adding a positive there. So you're distributing, there's the word, you're distributing the negative to both the terms there. Okay, 46x, negative 46x plus 46x is 0. And 5 plus 230 is actually 235. All right, now, we would repeat the process again if we could. The problem here is that I can't multiply x by anything to give me 235. So, this is our remainder. Okay. Now, seeing that we have a remainder of 235, we need to write our answer as a quotient plus the remainder portion. All right, we take the remainder and we put it over the divisor to get the remainder portion. Okay. So the final answer is going to be 10x minus 46. That comes from the top. Plus the remainder over the divisor. Okay, this is remainder over divisor. It doesn't look nice, but that's the answer. 10x minus 46 plus 235 over x plus 5. That is the answer that you get when you divide this trinomial by the binomial of x plus 5. Okay, same process. When you get a remainder, you just take the remainder and put it over the divisor to make a fraction. So this is the whole part and this is the fraction part, just as we had over here where we had the whole part and the fraction part. Okay? All right. We'll have more examples tomorrow. I look forward to seeing you.